Hey guys, welcome back to the Ride Right Waxing and UK One Wheel channel. So, we have got the third snowboard of 3 in the workshop, and yeah, this is a Rosignol snowboard, again in very good condition. The top coat is in super condition, needs a bit of a polish and a bit of a detail to get that nice dark and rich colour back, but we've got the bindings still attached to this one. Now, K2 bindings, these are large bindings, these are the K2 V9s. Yeah, good bindings. I'm just going to make sure everything is tip top with them. But what we're going to do is photograph these bindings so they go on in the same place, not only on the board, but also on the angle. So you've got a positive and a negative. Now I ride positive 15, negative 15, because then I can ride switch, albeit not very well, but I can ride switch. Now, these are slightly different. We've also got almost a positive 2 by the looks of things. Let's take the cover off. Yep, a positive 2 on the back foot and a positive 14 on the front foot. So instead of sitting like this, how I would stand, this is kind of like that. And obviously that will give a more of a directional ride, obviously on the board. But like I say, everybody has their preference. But I'm going to make sure these not only go back in the same holes, they're going to go back at the same angle. And obviously not only that, the customer can refer back to this video if they need to. Again, I think front foot is a positive 14 and the back foot is a positive 2. But I'm going to take some photos. We're going to whip these off, and when I put it back on, a little bit of Loctite just to make sure those screws don't come undone. But again, always a really good top tip. Once you've come back from snowboarding, just crack the screws off, taking the pressure off the board so it's not pulling that base up for the whole 8, 9, 10 months the board is stored. And that way then the base of the board is lovely and flat, and you haven't got all that tension on those threads, not causing any damage in case it gets whacked when it's in the garage whilst it's in the bag. I've whipped these top covers off. These are protective covers. Again, we're going to undo these screws, and yeah, let's take a quick look at this Rosignol. Okay, so for a bit of customer referencing on this Rosignol, this is the back foot. There we go. There is the front, and we've got positive 15, which you can see on here. This would be your negative 15. This is where the actually foot will be going past, should we say, 12 o'clock towards 1 o'clock. This is from 12 o'clock going towards 11 o'clock. So it's positive 2 just on there. And if we go across, okay, so this is a positive 14 on the board. So that means it is again facing towards 11 o'clock. But the board itself is in very good condition. Top coat could do with a jolly good polish, which I'll make sure I do. And I'm going to make sure these bindings are put back in the same position, not only through the screw holes, but obviously on the settings. So let's flip this board over. Let's quickly just take these covers off a second and put them to one side. It's a bit heavier with bindings on, so just bear with me a second, trying to do it one-handed. So, what have we got on the base of this board? Again, nice and dry, but we'll get that all sorted out. Again, we haven't got any deep gouges. We've got a bit of corrosion there. The edges are in need of a bit of love. Again, just scanning across the base of this board. Got a bit of a deep gouge there, but nothing really. They've got to be pretty deep to get the PTEX in. As you can tell, you can't really distinguish the rail here to the black of the board. As you can tell, we've got a bit of blue paint on there as well. So we're going to clean this one up. As you can see, the rail is a bit manky, but we're going to get the rails done first. And then what I'm going to do, a full base scrape on this, just to make sure we get any high areas, because we've got some high areas just here. So we make sure the board is super flat, so we can get it super polished. But other than that, like I say, it's seen some action, which is good. But I can just feel, I don't know if you better pick it up on the light there, just here you can see this indentation. And this is from where, here, the bindings have been screwed in. So it causes a slight waver on the base of the board. So again, it is always key, and you can see the dent just there. And you've got it the same on this end just here, not, as you can see, the 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's because it's pulling on that base. And of course, if it gets hot in the garage and cold and hot and cold, it's going to soften the board and just pull on that. So always a really good tip would be, you can see the 4 screw holes just there, look, would be just to slacken off the bindings when you're storing it, and that way then you'll get optimum performance. And not only that, the board just lasts longer. That's just me being fussy. You don't have to do it, but I just like that kind of stuff. I'm just weird, don't blame me. Well, actually, do blame me because I am weird. But anyway, I'm rambling on. We're going to get this looking absolutely ship-shape, and we're going to get it looking good. So I'm going to pop you in the stand. We're going to flip the board back over. You've seen the obviously the binding settings on the top. We're going to get those unscrewed and yeah, put them to one side. Just make sure they're okay. Put some lube on some of the bolts and joints so they fold nice and easily and they don't cause any issues when on the mountain. And again, always do check your boots and check your gear. And yeah, we'll get onto the base after doing the edges, trying to pull this base so we have some contrast between the two. So I will do a before and after in a second. And yeah, let's crack on. Okay guys, so this Rosignol is fresh out the hot room. As to the other two that I've done, this is the third snowboard of a family set that I've done. And obviously if you want to go back, we had the Avalanche 161 and we have that beautiful K2 Luna. Great boards. So different in age, weight. This is actually obviously quite a heavy board in comparison to that K2. So it depends what you want to do with it, but I always would check the weight, the flexibility, the ride side of things. And like I say, this is quite a wide board, so it depends obviously what your riding style is and how heavy you are, but do make sure you get the kind of the right size board. Always a good indication is the bottom of your chin when you stand next to a board, if it's kind of the right size, unless you're looking for a smaller board for park. It depends if you want offset camber for powder. But yeah, there's lots and lots of boards out there, guys. And like I say, I did a Wall Pig. This one here behind me, just going through the details. There's so many features and the technology is changing massively. So yeah, if you're loving your snowboarding, then, you know, do make sure you get the right thing under your feet. But we're going to get the wax stripped off of this. We're going to get some colour back into this beautiful red. We've got the definition now back on those rails, albeit covered in wax. We've cleaned up the top coat. It's looking nice and shiny. We'll get the bindings put back on this board when we're finished. But we're going to get this off, have a look at the before and after. So let's pop some music on and let's crack on with this Rosignol. Okay guys, bindings are all on. Just a quick time lapse on that. I've just put this down to protect the base of the board, so we're not obviously marking it off my stands. I've actually used Loctite 243, which is blue, which isn't strong. It's already got blue Loctite on the threads. But just to hold those screws in, so I make sure that they are proper true. They're all tight, so you do a circle, then I go diagonal, and then you just got to keep checking it, because you tighten one becomes slightly looser. So do 4, do a diagonal, do 4, and that way then not over tighten them, just enough, just give it a tweak, because the Loctite will also help They are tight, but they're not over tight, because I do not want to pull any threads out of the board. Just cleaned up a bit of dirt on the bindings. Fold the bindings down, and as I do say at the beginning of the video, guys, if you do store your board, just loosen off your bolts, so when you are storing it, it doesn't draw the base of the board up, because obviously you can cause that indentation in the base of the board because all that tension is on those screws. But anyway, we're going to flip this over. I'm going to show you the end article. Okay guys, so this Rosignol RS is all done. We've got great colour back in the redness of this base. We've got great definition between the blacks and the whites. The rails, we can actually now see them because they don't just blend in, as you've just seen from that before and after shot. Like I say, for the age of this board, it is in really good condition. The rails themselves are so sharp, really do, no pressure, and it's taking up a lot of nail off my finger. Like I say, these rails are quite rusty, so there is some quite little bad bits of pitting within them, and I don't want to take them back too far, because the most important bit is the edge, and these edges are super sharp. So from tip to tail, we've got sharp edges, we've got a polished and slick base. We did the PTEX repair, which is lovely and flat there. We've done a back of the rail repair there with some PTEX, which is nice and flat. And I think you'll agree, if I hold it up, we've got some great colour and we've got some great shine. And this board is looking super good, as you would agree from looking at the before and after. So guys, this is the last board of the set of 3s. I'm going to jump onto those skis just in a second. And that's that family set of skis and boards all polished off to hit Morzine. But guys, go across to my channel. That Battalion was a lovely board, as is this one, as was the K2 and the Avalanche 141. If you haven't seen those videos, guys, just click on my link, hit that subscribe, hit that notification, and do comment. If you like what you're seeing, please comment. If you don't, don't. But anyway, guys, that's me going on. Thank you very much indeed for watching, and until next time, I will see you soon.